For the last 4 years, America and the world has watched Kamala and President Biden lead this country and deliver results for working families. These are not ordinary times, and this will not be an ordinary election. We must gird our loins and enter this battle to not only win, but to destroy the MAGA movement once and for all. America is not only the greatest democracy in the world, but we also support other fledgling democracies around the world. America is a beacon of hope to the people of the world. This is why so many people come to our borders seeking refuge. Why? Because in America, one is free to pursue any life they so desire. We all know who our opponent is in this election. He's been called a liar, a rapist, a con artist, a racist. He is also a convicted felon who corrupted not only a Florida judge, but justices on the United States Supreme Court. Trump has alleged voter fraud where there was none, spreading mistrust of U.S. elections. Trump has spread the conspiracy theory that there is a deep state inside the bureaucracy. Trump has undermined the FBI. Trump has treated the country's lawyers as his own. Trump has belittled the U.S. intelligence agencies. Trump has attacked our courts. Trump has tried to spend money without Congress. Trump has hidden his business interests but used the presidency to make money from foreign dignitaries. Trump has pushed nationalism at the expense of U.S. alliances. Trump stows division and strife and chaos. There are serious questions about his character and leadership. Donald Trump is a fascist. He is a sinister and violent man who attacked his country, divided her people, and raped E. Jean Carroll. He is our country's most dangerous man. We cannot allow this man to represent our country to the world. We must put a word next to Trump's name and face, and that word is never. Kamala Harris is an American patriot who loves her country, running against a man who attacked it. We are going to save America. Biden stepped aside to save America, so we are going to join him. We are going to save America. Our choice must be about the future. We must take Kamala Harris across the finish line by voting for every Democrat on our ballots. Plus, we must reject Project 2025 in all its forms. Project 2025 is the death blow to America. Project 2025 was written to help Trump rule America with an iron fist once he gets back in the White House. Trump says he knows nothing about Project 2025, but it's written by his handyman. This project aims for a complete overhaul of the federal government, pushing towards an imperial presidency. It is spearheaded by former Trump administration officials, calling for the dismissal of thousands of civil servants, expanding presidential power, and dismantling critical institutions like the Department of Education. This means under this plan, civil servants who have dedicated their lives to serving our government will be dismissed. We must decide if Project 2025 is best for America. Below is a discussion of Project 2025. You decide. Is Project 2025 best for America? There is something important you should know about this election cycle. Donald Trump says he knows nothing about Project 2025 and has distanced himself from the abortion issues, which has brought misery to so many families. Yet, Project 2025 is waiting for America. Project 2025 advocates the dissolution of our civil liberties. You do not protect a nation by attacking civil liberties. This is how dictatorships begin, by taking away all restraints on their power, which the United States Supreme Court has done. Read the history of Mussolini. Absolute immunity coupled with Project 2025 will crush the people of this nation. Project 2025 proposes that all Department of State employees in leadership roles should be dismissed by the end of January 20th, 2025, and a national abortion ban. What we need are internet bloggers flooding the web to raise public awareness of the danger of Project 2025. And all concerned citizens should march on the Republican headquarters in their states. Civil liberty groups need to denounce Project 2025 furiously. Project 2025 was founded by the Heritage Foundation, the Koch Network, and a vast and secretive dark money network. The project is supported by at least 100 far-right organizations and entities. Foundation expects the American voters to vote in a coup d'etat and coup de grace simultaneously to democracy. The Judge Cannon's dismissal decision is the first decision of Project 2025 where the rule of law completely takes a back seat to the preeminent principle of loyalty to Donald Trump. Harry Litman, Judge Cannon, was being led by Justice Clarence Thomas when he gave her a new defense to dismiss the classified document case. Justice Thomas supervises the 11th Circuit. Both justices have something to gain. If Trump wins the presidency, Justice Thomas does not have to worry about all the riches he is taking from donors, and Justice Cannon can dream of being appointed to the Supreme Court. Imagine two judges obstructing justice. My, such corruption. Here are the Project 2025 team leaders. Paul Dance, Director, Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation. Spencer Creighton, Associate Director, Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation. Troop Hemingway, Associate Director, Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation is a tax-exempt 501c3 organization and BBB Wise Giving Alliance accredited charity funded by donations from private individuals, corporations, and charitable foundations. Consider this. 82 cents of every dollar received goes to support the treatment, research, and future needs of the St. Jude charity. And what about the Heritage Foundation and its sister organizations? A blogger, Branning, posted this on the internet. Did you know that tax-exempt organizations under Internal Revenue Code 501c3 are prohibited from participating in politics, including but not limited to endorsing or supporting a specific political candidate, or writing and publishing a political manifesto during a presidential campaign? Project 2025 is backed by a $22 million budget and includes strategies for implementing policies immediately after the presidential inauguration in January of 2025. The Heritage Foundation is creating a database of conservative loyalists to fill government positions and a program to train those new workers. In July, the Heritage president, Kevin Roberts, stoked the ire of the nation by saying what would happen if Project 2025 is rejected. He said, "We are in the possession of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be." Mr. Roberts was speaking on a podcast founded by Trump advisor Steve Bannon. Kevin Roberts wants to shove Project 2025 down the throats of Americans. Please note Steve Bannon is in prison for denying a federal subpoena, and he is looking forward to going to trial in New York to face charges of defrauding donors on the We Build the Wall. The 900-page Project 2025 was created by the Heritage Foundation think tank, the kissing cousin of the 619-page Mein Kampf that describes the process by which Hitler became anti-Semitic and outlines his political ideology and future plans for Germany. The think tank is led by former Trump administration officials. The project calls for the sacking of thousands of civil servants, expanding the power of the president, dismantling the Department of Education, sweeping tax cuts, a ban on pornography, halting sales of the abortion pill. Project 2025 is a blueprint for a second Trump term in office. The Heritage Foundation is a conservative organization. They have written policy plans for several Republican administrations. In 2017, the think tank boasted that the Trump White House had adopted nearly two-thirds of its proposals. The U.S. Supreme Court is helping the Heritage Foundation achieve its goals by strengthening presidential immunity and curtailing the power of federal agencies. By reducing the power of the EPA, undermining the FBI Justice Department attorney, and using those attorneys to bring suits against his opponents. By destroying the regulatory agencies, Trump will be able to fulfill his promises to the oil companies for the $1 billion they gave him. They are also attacking female Secret Service agents. Remember, Trump has said he wants the Justice Department to pursue his enemies and to try Elizabeth Lynn Cheney and various judges for treason. He wants televised military tribunals. He wants top elected officials put in jail, including President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Trump posted photos of 15 former and current elected officials and says they should be going to jail on Monday, not Steve Bannon. The post includes photos of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, former Vice President Mike Pence, and members of the House Select Committee that investigated the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Ms. Cheney responded thusly, "Donald, this is the type of thing that demonstrates yet again that you are not a stable adult and you are not fit for office." The team that created the project is chock full of former Trump advisors, including Director Paul Dans, who was Chief of Staff at the Office of Personnel Management while Trump was president. Russell Voigt, another former Trump administration official, wrote a key chapter in the document and also serves as the Republican National Committee's 2024 Platform Policy Director. More than 100 conservative organizations contributed to the document, Heritage says, including many that would be hugely influential in Washington if Republicans take back the White House. The four main policy aims of Project 2025 document are restore the family as the centerpiece of American life, according to their Christian beliefs, dismantle the administrative state, defend the nation's sovereignty and borders, and secure God-given individual rights to live freely. Project 2025 proposes that the entire federal bureaucracy, including independent agencies such as the Department of Justice, be placed under direct presidential control. This practice would allow the president to directly implement policy in a number of areas. The proposals also call for eliminating job protections for thousands of government employees, who could then be replaced by political appointees. Project 2025 says the FBI is bloated, arrogant, and an increasingly lawless organization. Project 2025 calls for drastic overhauls of this and several other federal agencies, as well as the complete elimination of the Department of Education. Project 2025 will increase funding for a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border. Project 2025 also proposes dismantling the Department of Homeland Security and combining it with other immigration enforcement units and other agencies, creating a much larger and more powerful border policing operation. Trump's lackeys want to eliminate visa categories for crime and human trafficking victims, increasing fees on immigrants and allowing fast-tracked applications for migrants who pay a premium. The Republican Party promises to implement the largest deportation program in American history. Project 2025 wants to slash federal money for research and investment in renewable energy and wants the next president to stop the war on oil and natural gas. Carbon reduction goals would be replaced by efforts to increase energy production and energy security. Again, paying back the CEO who helped to finance Trump's campaign. Imagine raising barriers to imports. They want to slash corporate and income taxes, abolish the Federal Reserve, and return to gold-backed currency. Project 2025 proposes withdrawing the abortion pill mifepristone from the market and using existing laws to stop the drug being sent through the post. Project 2025 wants the Department of Health and Human Services to maintain a biblically based, social science reinforced definition of marriage and family. Under the proposals, pornography would be banned, and tech and telecom companies that allow access would be shut down. The document calls for school choice and parental control over schools and takes aim at what it calls woke propaganda. Project 2025 proposes to eliminate a long list of terms from all laws and federal regulations, including sexual orientation, gender equality, abortion, and reproductive rights. Project 2025 aims to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in schools and government departments as part of what it describes as a wider crackdown on woke ideology. Its proposals are broadly reflected in the Republican platform, which, in addition to calling for the abolishing the Department of Education, aims to boost school choice and parental control over education and criticizes what the party calls the inappropriate political indoctrination of our children. Ask yourself, does Project 2025 look anything like the programs put forth by the Democrats? Over the past 3.5 years, Biden and Harris have made great progress for our country. America has the strongest economy in the world. America made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, in lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. The Democrats have provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. Again, we must turn the helm over to the Democratic Party, led by Kamala Harris, for president.